Hey guys, it's Daniel. I'm 1 week post surgery after quadriceps tendon rupture and repair. And this video I'm making for you guys who are perhaps in a similar situation or going to walk the same journey as me, so that you can know what to expect. So I'll share a little bit more about some of my goals for recovery and navigating the healthcare system and my experiences over the last week since surgery, and some of the guiding lights and quotes that are keeping me on track. So I shared in the previous video about my injury and my experiences post-injury leading up to the surgery. And so I won't cover that now, but just wanted to share some of my goals. So I do have a long-term life goal. One of my kind of life goals regarding health is to be active and injury-free for the next 50 plus years into my 90s. And so part of that is to have healthy legs. And my goal in making this video really is to be a blessing to you as your plan, and also to help me have patience in the journey, because I know it'll be a long recovery process. And my goals in this healing process is to just follow the doctor's orders religiously and get to full recovery. So my goal is to get to 95% or 100% of full range of motion and full strength. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not an athlete or a professional sports person, so I don't need to get back to that, but I do want to get back to full recovery. So I told you about my injury leading up to surgery. I was able to get surgery 8 days after the injury, which is good because it's a time-sensitive situation. And wanted to explain a little bit more about the surgery itself. So I did research. There's really kind of two types of surgery that they do for this type of injury. Again, my injury was a high-grade tear or almost complete rupture of the quadriceps tendon. And so the first one, it's called transosseous suture repair. So they actually drill holes through your patella, through your knee bone, and tie threads, sutures through that, and then tie them into your tendon material. And they use that to pull the patella to the tendon fibers so that your body's natural healing process can reattach them. The second type of surgery is called suture anchor repair. And basically, instead of drilling holes through your kneecap, they put like a drywall anchor into your kneecap. They drill a smaller hole, put a drywall or a concrete anchor in there, and that anchors the threads in, and then they thread the sutures through your tendon. They both have really excellent outcomes. The literature basically says they're both equally good. So my doctor happened to specialize in suture anchor repair surgery, and I trusted him, so I went with that. The surgery itself does not heal your body. It's important to remember that your body heals your body. So the blood healing is in the blood. Your blood brings nutrients to the injured site, and what the surgery does is it just relocates, or it just juxtapositions the bone with the tendon so that they can heal properly. If they're far away, they're not going to heal to each other. So what the surgery does is it brings them close. It co-locates them so that they can heal properly. So that's important to be aware of. I would recommend you search YouTube for the type of surgery you got and kind of learn how it works. That really helped me a lot. So my experiences in the hospital during the day of surgery, they took care of me very well. I got there. Someone had to drive me. You're not legally allowed to drive yourself away from surgery. So someone had to drive me to the hospital and wait there. They used 3 types of anesthesia. So they gave me what they call regional anesthesia, which was kind of like, I think it's like an epidural. They gave me an injection in the spine, which numbed my whole lower half. And then they also gave me a nerve blocker, which was very local to the leg itself. And then they also put me to sleep using an IV. All that worked pretty well. I didn't have it. It was scary. Actually, going under anesthesia was probably the scariest aspect of the surgery, because you could die, who knows? But thankfully, I was safe after that. They also gave me medications to deal with the pain. I'm not really into taking a lot of drugs if I don't have to, but they did give me some narcotics, some opioids that were helpful. I've been limiting my use of them only to kind of like right before I go to bed to help me go to sleep. So that's worked out well. They also recommended icing. So I know there's current debate, should you ice or should you not? I've been icing for two reasons. One, for the pain, because if you ice it, it kind of numbs the pain. You don't have to take as many drugs. And then for the swelling. So there's debate, and I don't even know the answer for this, but as we said before, healing is in the blood. So you need blood flow in order for your body molecule by molecule to heal itself. So you don't want to ice too much to stop the blood flow, but you do want to ice it enough to reduce the swelling, because swelling also stops or reduces blood flow. So I'm electing to just follow the doctor's orders exactly and basically ice all day on and off for 20 to 30 minutes on, 20 to 30 minutes off. So just to give you kind of some milestones in the journey, I'll tell you about the first day. My experience is the first 24 hours, and then my experience is the first 3 days, and then my experience is up till now, the first week. And then I know that there's another milestone at 2 weeks where I go in for my 2-week post-op visit, and then another milestone at 12 weeks, which is 3 months after physical therapy, and then another milestone at 6 months, and then perhaps at a year. So the first day after surgery, my sister drove me home. It was a little tough deciding how to get home after we had a 3-hour drive. I eventually just sat in the back of the SUV with my leg extended, and that worked fairly well. They say the most important thing after surgery is to keep your legs straight. Do not bend the knee, with 3 or 4 exclamation points. So this whole process for the first 2 weeks is about keeping the knee straight. And the reason for that is so that, as we explained, the bone and the tendon are co-located now by the surgery, by the stitches. And so what we want to do is wait for the body, molecule by molecule, to fill in those gaps and link them together like they had been before, build up scar tissue around them. And so if you pull them away by bending your knee, even by a millimeter, your body's not going to pull them back. So now you have an extra millimeter of scar tissue that has to grow in there molecule by molecule. And so the idea is to keep them as close as possible to each other for the entire 2 weeks. And so that's why we have a lockout knee brace. So priority number one for the first 2 weeks is to keep the leg straight with this suture anchor repair. There's the other transosseous suture repair. Apparently you can bend at the knee immediately. But anyway, this is what my doctor told me. So they did give me a 4-inch scar. So they sent me home day 1 with medication and an ACE bandage, as well as this lockout knee brace. I'll try to show it to you later. But the ACE bandage is to keep the swelling down, keep it compressed, and also guard it from getting smacked around too much. I wanted to show you the leg and kind of my setup here. I really like these types of running shorts. You can just get them from Dick's Sporting Goods, or they're just kind of a running short. They make it easy to access. So here's my my brace. It's in full lockout. As I said, I'm just 1 week post surgery. So I have my butt slightly elevated here and my heels on the floor so that my leg is completely straight. So that makes me feel safe to take the brace off. And I just wanted to kind of show you some things. The first 3 days I had an ACE bandage around this to compress it and keep the swelling down. And then after the third day, I was able to take it off. And so what you can see on my leg is I have this kind of plastic sticker that's covering it to keep infection out and keep it dry. And then there's this sort of medical pad or Band-Aid that's over the sutures. And I can feel the stitches or staples underneath. It's about 4 inches of a scar. My kneecap is right here. Bottom of the patella is there. Top of the patella is there. So it's mostly, the scar is mostly above the kneecap. And you can see I have a little bit of bruising still on my leg around here. This is not actually bruised or injured there. It's just that the blood from the injury migrated down to the skin. And so still 2 weeks after the injury, I still have some bruising here as well. As I run my finger around the injury site, it's mostly sensate. I can feel it. It's not numb, but for some reason when I get to here, there's a numb part. And so I touch this, the entire area that's kind of inside this pen mark is sorry, pen's not working, is numb, and it's hard. It feels like a cooked hamburger under there. So you can see here I can kind of like push in and it pushes in fine, but here it's just very hard. I'm not sure what that's about, or if it's okay, I'll talk to the surgeon about that next time we connect. But this is the leg. I have to keep it dry, so I'm a week post-surgery and I still haven't taken a shower yet. I've been keeping the house cool so I don't sweat too much, and so far so good, but I'll probably do like a sponge bath here soon. So put the brace back on, kind of lift up my hip a little to keep the leg from bending. Then I usually try to be very careful with this. There are a few times that are most high risk for bending the knee. Remember, I'm still in the first 2 weeks after surgery, and so my main priority is to keep the knee straight. And so one of the risk points during the day is actually when I'm putting the brace on and off. So it's really important to keep the legs straight. The other risk point is when I need to sit on the toilet or sit down, really, in any case. So I have had to make sure that the area kind of in front of the seat is open, so I can keep the leg open and then just kind of be careful. So there it is. I still have not seen the skin, still haven't seen the scar or the wound, the incision site. I have no idea if they put thread sutures in there or staples in there or what. I'm just kind of scared to look at it. But so day one was just about managing pain. I took the narcotics as they told me to. They were fine. I didn't have any of the nausea or headaches that they had said. I did have I wouldn't say constipation, but maybe, they say when you take opiates and narcotics, it slows down your digestive system. And so I didn't poop for the first 2 days. They do give you meds to deal with that, and that helps. So that was day one. The next 2 days were also managing the pain. I didn't have a lot of pain. Probably since my surgery, I've only had a 4 out of 10 pain. I haven't been flexing the knee passively or actively engaging the quad muscle. So I haven't had any spikes of pain since the surgery. So it's been a dull, 2 out of 10 to 4 out of 10 for the last week, which has been nice. I am taking Tylenol regularly, every 6 or 8 hours, according to what they told me to, and the other meds that they told me to. So They also mention you need to take aspirin so you don't get blood clots or like what they call deep vein thrombosis. That's really important. And then there's another medicine that I take for to reduce inflammation. So one thing that was new for me is just a lot of medication the first few days. So I started making a chart in my notebook. Just checked it off when I had taken the medication at the proper time. And that really helped a lot for me to stay on schedule. So the first 3 days were very similar to the previous 3 days, previous 24, the first 24 hours. Just focusing on reducing swelling, elevating the leg, icing it regularly. They gave me or I should say, I'm renting a ice machine. It's something that, it's like a sports thing where you put ice and water in there and it circulates the cold water around your knee throughout the course of the day. And it has an auto timer where every 30 minutes it ices it, every 30 minutes it's off. And I had a decision to make if I should get that or not. Everyone recommended I get it, even though my insurance didn't cover it. So I did pay out of pocket for that. It's like $300 to rent it for 2 weeks, or you can buy it for $3,000, which I decided not to do. But it's worth it. I would recommend getting it again. I would certainly get it again because it's simple. It means I'm not soaking my leg with Ziploc ice bags that break or have a lot of condensation. It means I'm not getting up and down a lot, not moving around a lot. So it's definitely worth it in my case because it aids the healing process. So this is how I often do my icing. I'm actually sitting up on a mattress that I put on the floor, so maybe 10 inches above the floor level. So I have a little gap here and my weight is supported on my heel. That way I can just slide out the brace without bending the leg. And then this is the game ready. It's an ice kind of sleeve, so I just slide it under there. I like to wear pants or put a t-shirt on so that it's not directly contacting my skin. And my knee is under here. So then I just wrap it. I don't try to get it too tight because it actually causes some pain on my patella if I wrap it too tight, but there you go. And then use this. Already got ice in here. Can you see that? Is it in range? Yeah. And then start this puppy up. I want to talk about food, sleep, and movement, because as we mentioned, healing is a molecular process, one by one, your body rebuilding itself. And so I'm prioritizing what I eat. I'm eating a lot of protein. I just have grilled chicken. I have a George Foreman, which makes it really simple to have good, clean protein. I'm also prioritizing fruits and vegetables. So every day I eat at least 2 chicken breasts, and I have a huge bowl of berries, of dark fruits like strawberries and blueberries. I get them frozen and fresh. Both are great. And then also I have the leafy greens, so like spinach, dark, kale, dark leafy greens. And basically I eat 3 things over the course of the day. I eat chicken, dark fruits and dark vegetables. And it's been really good. My sister said, "Oh, Daniel, you look great. Your skin is great," all that. So what I'm not doing though is I'm not drinking alcohol. I typically might have a few beers, but I'm not doing that. And I'm really not doing a lot of carbs or kind of even breads even. But so sleep also is really essential. Your body heals and recovers most deeply during the sleep process. So I talked to the doc about this. I said, "Hey, what if I sleep 12 hours?" He said, "No, 8 hours is fine." So I'm definitely sleeping 7 to 8 hours a day. And I take the med. The first 3 days I took pain meds to help me fall asleep. They didn't help me fall asleep, but to reduce the pain enough so that I wasn't tossing and turning. And I would recommend you do that too. So that's Um, that's the kind of the first week post-op, and I want to share a few quotes with you that are really keeping me going. It's a long process, as we know. They said it's 6 to 12 months of recovery process, and I'm very active, and it's hard for me to sit still. It's very hard. So I know that for me, the most difficult part is going to be kind of not doing the things I normally do. So the first thing that keeps me going is to recognize that this process of healing is like cement drying. So the first 2 weeks, your body's like wet cement. You can mold it, you can shape it, you can stretch it out, you can form it. And then after 2 weeks, it's mostly solidified. So if the cement dries in a bad way, you have to break it again to fix it. But if it dries in a good way, then you're set. So I realize that this healing process is going to make me mobile and active for the next 50 years. And so it's worth it. It's worth it for you to do exactly what the doctor says so that your tendon heals close to the patella with as little gap as possible and begins to heal in a strong way. That way, you'll have good range of motion, you'll have good strength, and then the biggest thing of all is you won't have fear of re-rupturing. So re-rupturing is a big fear. I don't want to live my life constantly trying to baby that knee. So first thing is like wet cement. Second thing my mom shared to me is you cannot speed up the healing process, but you can slow it down. So it's important to realize, by slipping, by falling, by bending at the knee more, we can really hurt ourselves and actually need to get surgery again, which will restart this whole process again. So you can't speed up the healing process, but you can slow it down. And then third is that ice has been my best friend during this process. So I want to encourage you as well. Take care of yourself, drive for your own healing process, and check back in with you soon. Hopefully after the first, what they call a 2-week post-op visit, where the surgeon will look at it and tell me how the wound has healed, how the process is going. So take care.